Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of Let's Play Republic, the Revolution. Our campaign in the town of Pugachev is continuing as usual today, as we march onwards in our battle against these countless enemies that have arrayed against us. We are going up against the Mafia, the anarchists, and of course our old friends the cartel. I'm hoping, however, that like in Ekaterine, just as it was in Ekaterine, that we can arrange some kind of peace deal, some kind of non-aggression agreement between ourselves and the Constantino cartel. This would allow us to focus on defeating the Red Mafia and the so-called organized anarchists. It would also allow us to make the necessary breakthrough to take over Vesnin Town, Udaltsova Precinct, Makevich Court, Pushkin Park, and so on, because we've made it our goal to establish a charitable trust. Since unlike a crime syndicate or a business empire, people won't look too far into it. We could very easily launder money if we had to, funnel some off to illegitimate or, perhaps in our own eyes, legitimate political campaigning, or anything of that sort. A business, however, has books. A crime syndicate perhaps would be a better choice, but we are not criminals. The anarchists are. The mafia are. The cartel, yes, they are. But we, the Novi Stranen People's Revolutionary Movement, are anything but criminals. Our struggle is just. And as you can see, we are gaining ground. We're already making it further in. We have high resolve, our average level remains low, but we are making our way towards gradually overtaking the Red Mafia and thus making ourselves heard. We have probably about 10% of the town supporting us, which is pretty good if you ask me. Now let's promote Mr. Baturin, because he's gained a level. So, we're going to upgrade his charisma and his control. And we'll also strengthen one of his actions. I think we'll go for the favoring action. There we go. Now we need to go scouting. And for that goal, we will enlist the help of our dear comrade Churnyayev. Comrade Boris Churnyayev, the former Spetsnaz captain. Perhaps even still a Spetsnaz captain, thinking about it, since it says Special Forces captain, not former Special Forces captain. So we're going to continue encouraging people to sign up for the armed forces, since technically this might give us the ability to establish a sort of NPRM cell within the armed forces, which would truly do us a world of good. It would allow us to hurt the regime pretty badly above all. And perhaps it would also stop the regime forces of Mr. Karasov from terrorizing us like he does with the rest of the factions. Perhaps we could use our connections in the military to do some terrorizing ourselves. Who knows? Whatever we do, it will be for the greater good of Novi Strana. And of course, what's good for Novi Strana is good for us. Nonetheless, all the figures of our rivals remain mysterious. We know next to nothing about Roman Leonov, leader of the Red Mafia. We don't know who leads the cartel in this town, or the organized anarchists, since if they're organized, they ought to have a leader. But all in all, I think that we're making a breakthrough. Slowly but steadily. However, the Mafia is continuing to agitate against us. It's not something that I like, really. That's it. We're going to get Mr. Baturin to evangelize. And instead of that, we're going to excuse me for a moment while I gather myself so I can actually say what I want to get done. We are going to cancel the charity action and instead organize some evangelism. All the while, we're going to strike against the Mafia, gain ourselves some more force points, consolidate our hold over this city in general, and regain our miserable position. Because once we've gained Pugachev Central, we'll be able to make a move on the Udalsova precinct, effectively cutting a belt right through the center of Pugachev, right down the middle of the town, in which our influence will reign supreme. It is clear, however, that we need to find some more recruits. Perhaps Latif Ryabov, the warehouse owner. Maybe even Nikanor Karpin, the editor, although this son of a bitch refused the last time I offered him. Whatever goes on, we will be on top of it. Now, I'm wondering how we should arrange all of this. So I say we'll start a poster campaign in Pugachev Central. This will gain us some ground and also prepare us for our impending battle with the rivals of our revolutionary movement. In the meantime, we'll encourage Churniev in his actions to increase the size of the army of this country, making it quite clear that the NPRM is a patriotic movement. Unlike all of these traitors, all of these opportunists that we are competing against. Now I'm going to hold a rally in the Laika Common, at Laika Park. We'll set a reminder so that we can actually arrange how we appeal to people. Whether it be on their hearts or on their minds. Now we're making steady progress. The one thing that I am happy about is the fact that our influence points have plunged down to 7. We really ought to be doing more to use our force points. We've got to use the force to triumph in this area. And that's what we will do eventually. Because our victory is only a matter of time. But time can do so much. And I wonder whether Pugachev will still be mine. And I wonder whether I'll stop quoting songs in time to give my rousing speech at this rally. I love this dramatic music, to be honest. It adds to everything. Kudos to the developers. Even if they weren't able to produce a sequel to this game, they were able to produce a good soundtrack. We already have a bunch of loyal cadres here, a bunch of loyal members of the Novi Stranen People's Revolutionary Movement. If only I'd crossed this damn street. Or stop gazing at the road and actually enter the park. That would be great. We're making a dramatic entrance. We're arriving fashionably late. Or perhaps right on time. I don't even think that I have a watch, to be honest. Now we have our banners raised up high, the flag of Novi Strana. We are going to give our speech. We are going to win over the locals. Now let's stand up to this microphone and our soapbox. My dear people of Novi Strana, I address you today for the very first time in this town. For the very first time in the town of Pugachev, I call you to battle. To battle against those who may slander our movement. To those who may attempt to undermine our revolution. To those who do not want to see a free Novi Strana. We are mustered here in the name of democracy, in the name of socialism, in the name of freedom. Our nation will be protected. Our nation will be reborn. And from the bottom of my heart I pledge that I shall fight in the name of this rebirth. And each and every one of you has a contribution to make to our great and sacred fight. If we can muster in the rain of water, we shall be able to muster in the rain of bullets as well when the time does arrive. To end the oppression which has stifled our economy, stifled our society. I thank you all for gathering in the name of our great revolution. And so our speech is over. I hope that I did a good job dubbing it, because frankly, Novi Stranan is gibberish. Now let's see, breaking news. Vandals no accident. The group of vandals that have recently been plaguing the area have been doing so at the behest of the Red Mafia. This shocking disclosure comes at a time when people have been leaving NPRM in droves under the false illusion that they could not deal with this recent rise in lawlessness. So we've successfully launched an expose against the Mafia. And I have leveled up. So I'm going to boost my charisma, boost my status, my presence, and my control. So I'm wondering which action I should level up. I think we'll go for our rallying action, so we can organize some mammoth rallies when the necessary time appears. Meanwhile, there's little else that we can do due to our low points. We're working hard, but we need to work harder. And that's what we're going to do. We are going to take control of Pugachev, no matter what. We have enemies behind us and ahead of us, but I don't care. Now we're already losing control of the area. We need to march onwards. We need to establish ourselves across the city. And that's what we're going to do. And perhaps we might as well scout out these bastards from the Red Mafia while we're at it. We'll see if we can find any of their members to bully into submission. We've also got to find ourselves a contact in the city hall. Honestly though, we're getting bogged down. We need to hold rallies, we need to hold greater activities to establish ourselves. And that's what we're going to do. Bit by bit, we will take over. We will consolidate our hold over this city. We will make it ours. Things are proving tricky, trickier than I expected. But nonetheless, we are making headway. Just as we did in Ekaterine, this is only the beginning, after which we shall snowball to great success and prominence. So fortunately, the newspapers continue to condemn the anarchists and the mafia, rather than our glorious revolutionary movement. This is always a welcome sight, and it shall remain so as we continue. We need to expand our general area of operations, though. And so we're going to send Oleg Baturin on an expedition of sorts into the Udalsova precinct, where some charitable work will hopefully be able to win over the locals to our cause, thus giving us an important flow of influence points for us to continue our campaign. We'll be competing, as before, against the Constantino cartel. We're on the verge of losing the Ratushinskaya Fields area. Ratushinskaya Fields. This is very, very irritating, and I'm going to have to prepare some activities right here and right now. Poster campaigns, and so on. Since otherwise we are doomed to failure. I won't allow our movement to fail. We need to march onwards with greater determination, with greater strength. We need to be ready at all times to agitate against the enemies of our great revolution, to defend the NPRM, to expand the NPRM, and thus to win over this city. Above all, we need to secure a steady supply of influence points, since the amount that we're gaining from Ekaterine is insufficient. Meanwhile, the latest statistics are in, and we are falling behind. The Red Mafia is continuing to overtake us. It's a larger movement, with greater funding, with greater size, but lower resolve. Our position is fragile at best, and I don't like that. I really don't. Now the time has come to level up Mr. Churniev's skills. We'll strengthen his army draft action for now. Meanwhile, we're losing our hold over Ratushinskaya fields, and I don't enjoy this. So we're going to take the fight up against the anarchists. We're going to strike where it hurts. And we're also going to attack the Mafia. This is it. A two-pronged offensive against them. It's a daring gamble, but I think that it might just pay off. We're going to campaign without fear. And nobody will be able to stop us. We are going to gain ground, we are going to hold ground, we are going to triumph. And I don't know what I'll do if we do not. Anyhow, we'll leave that gamble for the next episode. I hope that you're enjoying the series. If you are, do not forget to leave a like and a comment and to subscribe to my channel for a free Molotov cocktail. I have been the Nerd Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for today.